Hi everyone, Wednesdays again. So here we are discussing videos that we watched. I preferred the first video. I did not know a lot of what he was talking about in the second one. I'm unfamiliar with the stories, and quite a few other things that he was talking about actually. So I definitely resonated more with the first one. I wrote down a quote specifically that he said. He said, the people who passed these stories, the violent stories in the Bible, the people who passed on these stories did not regard this as arbitrary, capricious violence. They always set it in the context of justice and law and redeeming the oppressed from the oppressor. Their frame of reference is oftentimes not the same as ours. And I like that. It put it into a different context where you could focus on how horrible and gruesome and unnecessary the violence is, or meet the text where it's at. And he said that too, meet the literature on its own terms instead of picking the bits that fit your own agenda. There was also a reference to not using these stories of violence to interpret how to live your own life. And it's not like the Bible is condoning the violence and saying that it's okay to do this. And if you're violent in today's world, that's all right. It's reminded me, and this is actually before we watched the second video, I had written down that it reminded me of when we learned that the characters in the Bible were so deeply flawed and we weren't supposed to be using them as role models. We're supposed to be using the stories to take our own lessons from it. And then I believe at the beginning of that second video, he broke down quite a few different characters and how flawed they were. And one of the main things, I think he used Moses as a reference, was in the second video, he said that it's hard to look in the mirror and see your own flaws, but when we see them in a teacher and someone that we respect, we can move forward. So obviously we're supposed to be looking at things. The frame of reference is crucial. We're not supposed to be looking at it as a guide of what to do and what not to do. We're supposed to be learning the lessons and taking it away and maybe trying to relate it to how we see things today. Just always trying to progress and be better. So I think that the first video was most meaningful, and I think that rounded up the other two questions. So excited to see your guys' responses.